Hey guys, how's it going? SoraMotto here, and today we have an action figure review of McFarlane Toys Connor from their newest Assassin's Creed 3 line. Before I go any further, I would just like to front this by saying sorry if my hands are kind of shaky. I'm actually just using my phone as a camera instead of my actual camera because it's charging right now. But I don't have a tripod for this, so I'm just going to be holding it for the rest of the video. But as a plus, the resolution on a camera is actually a lot better. So, just, you can take what you can get. But, once again, I just apologize if my hands are really shaky. I'll try to hold the phone as steady as I can. So, we'll just take a quick look at the packaging, which is, I've already taken the figure out of it. He's got a nice picture of Connor under the sign. He's got his name really big. Over on this side, it says there's exclusive unlockable in-game content. For this figure, you can get Connor's sales for Edward's ship, the Jackdaw, in Assassin's Creed 4. On the back is all the figures in the line, Series 1 and Series 2. Right now we have Connor, Haytham, and Edward available right now, and everything else comes out in October 2013. Connor comes with 4 accessories. 2 of them are pistols, 1 of them is a tomahawk, and the last one is the bow. All of these are made of really high quality, really hard plastic. It's got a nice nice paint detailing on it, a lot more than I was expecting, especially for a figure of about Connor's size, which is around 4 to 5 inches tall. The bow actually surprised me because I thought this was just going to be a piece of string, but it's actually not. This is actually like a taut piece of like a rubbery. It's you can see it's made of a high quality string. I don't think it's gonna be breaking anytime soon, but that was just a nice surprise. He does not come with any arrows for his bow though, so that's kind of a bummer. In the promotional pictures, the bows you see on Connor's back, it's actually sculpted onto the figure. Connor actually comes with 1 more accessory, which I did not take out of the box, and let's see if I can get it to focus on it. It's the hidden blade, which is, it's really big. It looks really big because it's pegged onto the figure. It doesn't actually just slide in, because in Assassin's Creed 3 it was actually being shown off that the hidden blade can be used as a knife, so that's its main purpose, actually, not much of a hidden blade. So here's the figure itself. You can see on his left forearm the 2 pegs that I was talking about. This is where the hidden blade goes. Let's see if I can get to focus on the figure. It's not doing it. There it is. You can see the 2 pegs and where you put the hidden blade in. But now that it's focused on the figure, you can just see how much detail was put in it. For a 5-inch figure, or like even smaller. I didn't actually measure this. It actually has a lot of nice detailing on it. You can see his bracer, and here's the arrows. Like I said, it's actually just sculpted onto it, and you can't even take it out. So it's kind of a bummer, but I wasn't really expecting it to be individual things. One thing I'll have to take away from this figure is its articulation. And it does have plenty. It has all the necessary articulation it needs, but because the material being used is different from NECA's Assassin's Creed figures, it handles a lot differently. So we'll just break that down right now. I won't be able to show you the articulation because I'll be holding the phone with one hand, so I'm just going to be pointing at the articulation. So the head can move left or right, barely, I might add. It does not go up or down. The arm goes in or out, up or down. It's on a ball joint, so it's also on a ratchet joint. So it's gonna last a really long time. It's gonna be able to hold poses a lot better. It's also got ratchet elbow joints, so it can go forward and back at a 90-degree angle. And that's about it for the arms, except for the wrist, which can twist and turn all around. It's also on a ball ratchet joint. I don't actually know the technical term for that, but it's really good for posability. No waist articulation or ab crunch. The legs are on a ball joint. It's this weird hidden ball joint that was used in the Halo 4 McFarlane figures. It hides the joint really well, but it hinders the articulation a lot. But it's not so much of a problem for this figure, which we'll get to later. He also has a knee joint, which allows him to bend at the knee at a 90-degree angle. And last but not least, he has ankle rockers that lets his feet go forward and back. And they're also on a ratchet joint. He's also got peg holes on the bottom of his shoes for both of them. But it does not come with a figure stand. Which is kind of I wish it came with a figure stand because the way the articulation works and because the figure is made, it kind of needs a stand. But now we're at the part of the video where I can compare Connor to Ezio. So on the left we have NECA's Ezio, and over here is McFarlane's Connor. Now, just having them right next to each other, you can already tell there's quite a bit of a difference. Just in size, the NECA figures are always made around like 7-inch scale, whereas McFarlane toys are like a lot smaller. Here he is right next to Master Chief, and they're roughly about the same size. Connor's a little bit taller, but that's probably because I've already posed Master Chief. But these two do not stand well right next to each other, but might as well. I mean, they're from two different companies. I didn't want them to be exactly the same. I wanted them to have their own take on it, especially because I really like McFarlane's ratchet joints. It really holds the figure really well. One thing I do not like about the McFarlane figure, however, is their use of plastic. You can see right here in the NECA figure, Ezio has a lot of robe detailing on him, and everything that might get in the way of the articulation is made of a really soft, pliable plastic, so it moves around like cloth, like it does in the game. So it does not hinder articulation whatsoever, and he actually has a lot of freedom of movement, especially in his head and his legs, which if they were just made of this really hard plastic, would not be able to move at all, which is the major complaint in NECA's really early Assassin's Creed action figure of Altair. Here, however, it's made of this really tough, really hard plastic, so I can't move it at all. The hood is also made of this very same hard plastic, so it's really hard to move his head as well. So if there's one thing I can take away from this figure, is that it does not use NECA's really soft plastic on it. I don't think that's a patent. I think that's just a design style. If McFarlane could make their upcoming figures in a way so that the plastic is really soft, they've won me over, because that's just my one complaint. Everything else in the figure is really good. Another comparison with the NECA and McFarlane toys is the accessories. The NECA toys don't come with many accessories. A lot of their toys don't. This one, however, came with one thing, and that was the Captain's Sword from the game, which is kind of disappointing because Ezio had a lot of stuff to him. He had his crossbow, he had heavy weapons, he had a lot of things. He had parachutes, which they could have done. I mean, they did the flying machine, for God's sakes. I mean, they could have done something. And before they announced that McFarlane was going to be the one making the figure, I thought it was still going to be NECA for Assassin's Creed 3. And I was kind of disappointed, saying, it's probably just going to come with one thing and tons of variations with several other things. But McFarlane came out and said, we're going to include the bow, we're going to include 2 pistols, we're going to include the tomahawk. There you go. How's about that for articulation? I mean, accessories. And you know what? It's really good. The accessories are really nice. It's really nice detail. I wish I could show you, but the camera won't focus on the accessories because they're so thin. But they're really nice. They're really nice, and I like them a lot. So that's the one difference. The design of the assassins so far have always been a problem for action figure manufacturers because they always seem to get in the way. But I think McFarlane has handled it as best as they can. The one thing I can really take away from this figure is, the coattails. I sincerely hope that they fix this, I mean, they're not going to be able to fix it now. It's already been mass-produced. But, for any future figures, McFarlane did say he was going to remake all the other figures from NECA's past, like Altair and Ezio, as well as a lot of others, like Aveline from the Vita game, And I don't know if he's gonna make the Russian assassin from the comics, but maybe that would be really cool. His design's really cool. But that's about it for this action figure review. Here it is, just a final shot of like the comparison. Here's Connor standing right next to another McFarlane toy, which is Master Chief, and here he is standing next to another Assassin's Creed toy, which is by NECA. And you can see, like, he stands relatively well with McFarlane toys, but, you know, this is clearly a different thing. Anyways, thanks you guys for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like and leave a comment, and, you know, leave any suggestions if you want to see any more reviews. It doesn't have to be toys, it can be video games. I would actually much prefer if it was video games, because, you know, I'm more into that than I am with reviewing toys. But anyways, that is it from me. Thanks once again for watching, and I'll see you guys later.